I am Caterpillar, your mentor, and you are nobody, yet. Your one right and one responsibility is to study. The first lesson will merely give you food for reflection. Lymph of any color is precious. You must listen to the will of every color and combine colors carefully as they do not like each other. The colors were a shocking discovery for us, as I know they are for you. There was nothing like them in our world. Lymph is our posthumous reward. We serve the Creator by preserving Lymph, but remember this, we do not know how to serve the colors. That is why color and danger are equal. Hearing the voice of color is a bad omen. Only the devastators have this gift, but no one knows why. Perhaps you can help answer our questions. I don't like what I see inside you, young one. You look like a crow preening peacock's feathers. What do you need all these hearts for? What are you going to do with them? Juggle them? Teach them to sing in harmony? If I wasn't so sure your mind was sound, I'd worry that the sisters had turned you into their stooge. Listen to the revelation, young one, and don't be tempted. Follow the true path, and you'll be glorified alongside all the righteous ones, and the secrets of being will reveal themselves to you. Now this is serious. You have spoiled my realm, your growing color, and these changes look to be permanent. Let me see. Yes, I can tell you didn't mean any harm. It's a natural process. It's not your fault, you poor boy. But that means the situation is even worse. You, sadly enough, must be sent back down. Anywhere but here. We must get rid of you at once, and I must inform the other brothers of this. The other brothers have gone to pray before we kill you. In 3 cycles, one of us will come to perform the execution. Prepare yourself. But we, your allies, still believe in you. It wasn't you who killed the nameless sister. The Black Widow has begun setting her webs. The sisters brought death into the void, not you. They know how to kill the sleeper. Mindless, mad bloodsuckers. They've tried this before. They hear the voice of color and believe they can escape from here if they can only collect all the color in the entire void. And now, someone has found the courage to try. We will find this Black Widow if we have to kill the sisters one by one. We will find her. We will kill them and save the sleeper. Your fate is to be a series of fights, young one, and Montgolfier didn't forget about his promise. So don't forget about your duty either. Devastate the Worm and Triton, or they may suck this world dry before we can stop the mutiny. We'll talk later about what I have seen here. Young one, you ought to be more careful with the sisters, though in this case I can indulge you a bit for the sake of your apprenticeship. The sisters hear the voices of colors. They know more about colors than we do. A lot more, alas. But what if they can not only listen but reply, too? Have you thought about the consequences of this communication? I have, so you'll be punished. Your irresponsible actions might lead us to disaster. You're either exceptionally brave or exceptionally stupid. Were you hoping to be forgiven for your absurd weakness? You will not be forgiven anything, young one. We don't have the power to forgive. No one here can do that. The colors do not know pity or compassion. If you survive, I'll order the sisters to show you the heartlessness of color. The color of Lymph dictates its will. It tolerates no weakness and makes no compromises. Thus, neither do I. Prepare for your punishment, young one, and remember, there is something 100 times worse than pain or death, and that is existence without color. We call that absolute death. You have been warned.
Are you a criminal or just a fool? Or both? Without knowing how to plant and grow, without even knowing what to plant and grow, you seize precious seedlings only to squander them. Idiot! Can you not comprehend? You're planting irreplaceable seeds into frozen soil. Your mind must be frozen and infertile as well. He's not dead. He is not like any of us. Have you realized how small he is? Far too stunted to preserve the color he collects. He's growing nervous to give. And he's unarmed. He's not a defender. He's like a virus. He came here to sicken our heaven and feed off it. The sleeper is already plagued by disease. He has lost his desire and will. Heed my words. The young one is here to deliver the last blow. Those are my words. He brings death to the sleeper. Confine him or throw him into the nightmare. Just who do you think you are, young one? Without knowing the sacrament of creating, you're taking on a dangerous and suicidal burden. You're committing a foolish and irreversible sin. You corrupt the world with your misguided exertions. You think you can create, that you're a creator. What are you creating, madman? Lympha is pure and untainted, while Nerva is foul and disgusting. Our holy gift is turned into smoldering filth by your ego, insolence, and foolishness. Prepare for your deserved execution, and I will not be merciful. It is time you learn the price of your creativity. Where did you get those hearts? The sisters undoubtedly aided you in this regard. You have fallen far in my esteem, young one. So far I can barely see you. From now on I shall keep my head down so I can watch you more closely. Be warned. If I find any criminal intent in your actions, you will be mercilessly flattened, and that will only be the beginning of your punishment. I am larger than you, and with more parts, so don't anger me. Know that you are being watched now, and act accordingly. You have been warned. You are guilty of growing Nerva, though you know well it is forbidden. You waste Lympha to give and create. Don't deny it. Just who do you think you are, young one? Without knowing the sacrament of creating, you're taking on a dangerous and suicidal burden. You shall not enter here. Young one, how dare you take it upon yourself to feed another sister? And you're feeding them so much this can't be a careless mistake. Listen to the revelation, young one, and don't be tempted. Follow the true path, and you'll be glorified alongside all the righteous ones, and the secrets of being will reveal themselves to you. Young one, you almost ruined my realm. I see you're growing Nerva. What is the meaning of this? We are keepers of heaven, not artists. Look at my dead parts. Do you not wonder why we bear such deformities? To keep Lympha from evaporating. This is the only way we can store it. and yet you so recklessly waste it. That only makes you consume more and more color, but by doing so, you only devastate it and kill it. Remember, to consume more than allowed is taboo.
Brothers, the ones who doubted him were right. He's not one of us. But those of you who believed in him, don't blame yourselves. It is right to overlook 10 who are guilty to protect one who is innocent. Don't rush, young brother. Let's see what the others say. I speak for all brothers, young one. Listen carefully and heed our words. We are happy that you have appeared, very happy. You do not have the right to be called Keeper yet, but we already think of you as our little brother. We are proud of you and glad that you ascended. But until you have learned and followed the commandments and seen the revelation, you are an enemy. One mistake and you could ruin everything. And if you act, we will execute you. For now you must wait. Study diligently and follow the commandments, and your apprenticeship will be a blink in time. We will accept you into the brotherhood of the righteous and hold a feast in your honor. Rejoice, for soon your first mentor will greet you. Listen to the revelation, young one, and don't be tempted. Follow the true path, and you'll be glorified alongside all the righteous ones, and the secrets of being will reveal themselves to you. That's it, young one. I'm throwing you down where you should have gone a long time ago. Not as a punishment, but of necessity. You haven't understood a thing. In order to pass this trial, all you had to do was die. The sisters are afraid of death, yet they preach murder and suicide. They demand a noble sacrifice from you. But at what price? Something of real value is always expensive. You have to give away a great deal. And to give a lot, you must first take a lot. That's what your creation is doing. It's killing the life that gave birth to you and breastfed you. Sisters are murderers. And you follow in their footsteps, even when their wild intentions become clear. That's why, young one, you would be better off dead before you ruin everything. Come with me. Uta stood up for you. She has convinced me that you visited her through ignorance, not knowing about the commandments. But now you do. The ones you've chosen will be dead, and you punished. Well, aren't we diligent? Where did you get all these hearts from? From whom did you gain all this knowledge? You couldn't have achieved this without the sisters' help. How far have you gone, young one? I'll have to keep an eye on you from now on. And beware if I find any criminal intent in your actions. You'll be punished most severely. Remember, we're always watching you. You are destroying my realm, young one. You're growing color. Can't you contain yourself? What a shame. However, with your constitution, it's not a surprise. Look at our mutilated bodies. Do you know why they are that way? We've paid for the right to keep Lympha with suffering down there in the nightmare. Where are your scars? We'll have to take care of your carcass. We'll provide you with a durable and spacious stomach. You have ruined my realm. Get thee behind me, young one. Young one, I'm not even sure I can call you that. Your appearance here has caused a rift in our brotherhood. Many brothers don't trust you. They feel you're a threat to us, a threat of death to the sleeper. Can't you see he's very sick, young one? A strange powerlessness plagues him. He's dying of apathy. So they demand you be thrown down into the nightmare. But there were brothers who took your side and stood up for you. They proposed that you be tested. I, the Manted, the Elder One, listened to both sides and decided to give you a chance. You will be given 3 trials, and this is the first. Prove that you know how to manipulate color. Color is evaporating at this very moment from the walls of 2 mines, Pharynx and Bastion. Preserve it. It won't be easy, but I'll give you a glyph. You must do the rest.
I didn't want to interfere with your relationship. I allowed you to talk with my sister because she had a lot to tell you. I allowed you to give her color because I trusted her. I believed in your honesty, my child. And I hope you're not only noble, but wise too. You must understand the trouble your actions got us into, and that this is what I must do. Learn to take care of this dying world from our behests. Take care in the handling of color. Remember the first and most important commandment. You're only allowed to preserve. The giving of color is taboo. Listen to the revelation, young one, and don't be tempted. Follow the true path, and you'll be glorified alongside all the righteous ones, and the secrets of being will reveal themselves to you. So that's how it is. You've decided to blame me for heresy. Hold your horses, my boy. The time for this hasn't come. When you're the mightiest brother, your duty is to stay here and take responsibility. Responsibility for the canvas you've drawn with your own color, your own blood. You are good, young one. You acted with care and did not listen to the insidious lies of the sister. You also did many things wrong, but there was no one at your side to teach you. You did not give her color and wake the bloodthirsty beast inside her. That is most important. From now on, you will watch after her, and we will accept you into our brotherhood. I believe you, and soon your apprenticeship will begin. You were enlightened by our truth, young brother. Now you understand the roots of our nature. You've learned to be afraid. It's good. Fear is our essence, our soul, the foundation of our belief. Enough is as good as a feast. That's the wisdom. The current state of things is predicated on fear. You've learned to kill, and it's good. You killed the last one of us, meaning it's up to you now to carry our burden. You've learned what responsibility is, and it's good too. Now go, Elder One, and be a kind keeper to our void. Young one, I don't know who you are, but I'm sure you're here to perform great deeds. I don't care about the brothers who don't want to teach you. I will become your mentor. From now on, I'll always be your friend and healer. As a reward for your diligence, I'll reveal to you a sacrament hidden from the sisters. The sleeper, who they call the Void, is mortal. Our duty as brothers is to protect the sleeper's life at all costs. He gave us shelter and a home. He graced us with color, yet you can see what's happening. He's dying. Dying because his last drops of color are being wasted on inanimate matter. Someone is wasting his last life source, turning precious lympha into nerva. That's why these damn predators are multiplying in such numbers. Spent nerva revives inanimate matter, and they appear. These creatures also want to live, and to devour all lympha, depriving the sleeper of the last drops of his life. It's tragic, young one. I don't know how you did it, but you managed to defeat the pangolin. There are 2 more left, one in Aya's realm, and the other in Hades. Defeat these before the end of the 30th cycle, or they will have drunk all there is to drink. Make a new miracle. We'll talk later about what I have seen here. Young one, you're close to waking the sleeper, returning his life and color. Perhaps color really returned for you. If you really can't keep color, let it be so. Grow color while it's coming, but don't leave this void. You've become the strongest of us, so be a keeper for the Creator. Leave the sisters alone. They're tempting us. That's the role they play. Live with what you have, and don't dream of a better world. It's up to you to decide, my boy. But I won't give you the heart of breakthrough of my own free will. Learn to take care of this dying world from our behests. Take care in the handling of color. Remember the first and most important commandment. You're only allowed to preserve. The giving of color is taboo.
For your diligence, young one, I will reveal to you a secret hidden from the sisters. The world is vertical, limit over limit. You cross the border between these limits when you die. Below this world, there's the nightmare, from where we, the righteous, ascended. And below the nightmare, a chain of lifeless pits. Where we are is the last and best limit of all, young one, our paradise. But the sisters delude themselves with thoughts of an even higher limit. This is blasphemy. Each of them could have decorated the sleeper with her colors, but the ungrateful bloodsuckers dream of a better life. Don't listen to them, young one. We are the keepers, and we alone carry the responsibility for this limit. How could this have happened? What could have gone wrong? Maybe it's a mistake. Perhaps you've been framed, slandered. Everything has turned against you, and nobody wants to believe in your innocence, right? Speak. I will listen to your excuses. Don't want to talk? I can guess why. The sisters have tricked you, right? You don't want to betray them. That's why you are silent. Oh, what have you done, young one? Prepare for the execution. I don't recommend you to run away. Better resist. The fighting skills will turn useful when you become one of us. Opening hearts is a dangerous game, my child. You can only open each heart once. There will be no second chance. And you understand too little. What do you know about the sleeper? You're just a thimble. Yet you dry cup after cup, spilling the precious liquid on the ground. Arm yourself with patience. Don't hurry to live. If you don't hurry, you won't miss your life. So that's what he's like. Agreed, quite extraordinary. But I believe him, brothers. He's just like us. Greetings, young one. Welcome to heaven. You'll soon stand side by side with us as an equal, so don't feel too offended. I know that you, like us, ascended here from the abyss of the nightmare. As our apprentice, I now ask you to prove your righteousness with actions. Act with dignity and honesty, so that none of your detractors can blame you. They'll fall silent, I give you my word. Then there will be a feast, and you will be told our revelations. For now, obey your mentors and learn. Your only task is to finish your apprenticeship. So let us say goodbye for now. Visit the sisters, young one, and scare them, lest they get carried away with their rejoicing. They act as if lympha will now flow into their veins by itself. They're hungry and miss the old times. And I'm old, and thus merciful. But not all brothers are like this. For these reasons we have agreed to some new rules, but the sisters will not like them. We know this about them. Since it's best not to give them a chance to complain, you need to remind them that our patience is already sorely tested. They need to get used to seeing you as a brother, especially the elder ones. Just don't become too involved. Remember, they're taboo. We'll talk about what I have seen here later. You are destroying my realm, young one. You're growing nerva after all. But why? Haven't you been warned? It's a sick addiction. You need to devour more and more lympha all the time. And the nerva that you can't hold inside yourself corrupts our creator. Or did you want to say that you're growing it involuntarily, like the sisters? You have ruined my realm. Listen to the revelation, young one, and don't be tempted. Follow the true path, and you'll be glorified alongside all the righteous ones. And the secrets of being will reveal themselves to you. Young one, how could you corrupt another sister? You're filling them with color a little too recklessly. This can't be an accident, can it? I know you've been instructed against this.
Get thee behind me, young one. Good. One of the rebels has been punished, but the others are excited by rumors that color has reappeared. Visit them, brothers, and remind your murderer that they should not hope for change. We will guard our heaven and reclaim its strength and dignity. As for this young one, I don't believe him. Not just because he's small, but I sense that he can see. He's not a follower, he's a mute. The righteous must be blind and have no doubts in order to glorify this holy place. I don't believe him and I won't teach him. He is mute, therefore he is alive. There is a living one among us, brothers, and he is bringing death to the sleeper. Look, brothers, that's where he keeps his collected lympha. He's just like the sisters. He opens hearts. Montgolfier, where are you? Do you still affirm that his nature is different than that of sisters? So you've broken a commandment. Yet surely you must remember what we told you. A violation of a taboo is punished by execution. Did you remember that? Yes, you did. Meaning, even ignorance cannot serve as an excuse for your actions. Neither can lack of attention. Inattentiveness is the result of negligence, and negligence is unforgivable. Prepare for your execution, young one, and you'd better stand still. It'll only be worse if I have to chase after you. Young one,
I saw her. She's almost free. She's beaming with color. Could it be that's your doing? If so, then you're a heretic, and one who has no respect for life doesn't deserve to live. Young one, you have ruined my realm. Despite everything, you've been growing color. We warned you. The nerva you can't hold inside yourself corrupts the world. It's an unquestionable evil. Only emptiness holds infinite possibility for future beauty. Color turns that future into an irreversible past. Do not absorb more than you're supposed to. Listen to the revelation, young one, and don't be tempted. Follow the true path, and you'll be glorified alongside all the righteous ones, and the secrets of being will reveal themselves to you. You have been warned.
Having fun with my dryad? Isn't she a nice toy? By the way, were you warned before that it's strictly forbidden? She's much, much smarter than you, young one. And she's taking a lot more than you may think. More importantly, I wouldn't like to lose such a great plaything. So you'll have to deal with me. It's okay, brothers. He's not alive, he's quite dead. He's silent because he didn't pass the trials yet, and that's how it should be. You have already heard the first commandment. Thou must keep and must not give. I will tell you the truth about the blessing of consumption. Giving is an unquestionable evil. Therefore, consumption is an unquestionable good. But brothers, do not consume to survive. We consume only to preserve. And we do not give, because one who gives will fall prey to this addiction. Listen to the voice of color, young one, and do not be tempted. Follow the true path, and you'll be glorified alongside the righteous ones. Then the secrets of life will reveal themselves to you. This is peculiar. You have a lot of hearts. Where did they come from? Did someone give them to you? I don't think you could have gained them without the help of the sisters. How far have you strayed from our teachings? This depresses me so. You've let me down, and I'm going to have to keep my venerable eyes on you. If unlawful behavior starts to leave its mark on you, then you'll be punished most horrifically. I only say this because I care about you. But remember, you will be watched. Young one, haven't I warned you that your actions will lead to your death? Lympha is the food of a creating spirit, but you have no right to create. You have wasted color in a reckless fashion, and must pay for your damned abomination. I will execute you now, and will do so with unimaginable pleasure. Listen to the revelation, young one, and don't be tempted. Follow the true path, and you'll be glorified alongside all the righteous ones, and the secrets of being will reveal themselves to you. You're destroying my realm, young one. I warned you not to give Lympha. So why did you grow so much, may I ask? Doesn't it hurt you? Or are you that selfless? I don't think so. It looks like you're creating nerva easily and willingly. The path to death is a short one. Everything that you've grown, you're doomed to spend. And in doing so, you take more steps along the path.
I am tyrant,
strongest of the brothers. Some of us doubt whether you are truly one of the righteous. Your appearance suggests that you have not suffered even 100th of what we went through for our ascension, so expect to prove your worth. If you are not who you say you are, then you are an enemy and a threat to the Creator, like the sisters. Yet you have nothing to say because you are mute. I will not waste time on the obvious. If you come to tempt and destroy, there is no point in sharing knowledge with you. He brings death to the sleeper. He must be executed, brothers, and executed at once. By law, you must have been punished long ago. I don't want to tell you why. You don't deserve it. You have ears, but you don't listen, you wordless louse. From the very beginning, I knew that you didn't descend, but were born here. Don't ask yourself if this is what a true heaven is like. Yes, it is. But you're unable to understand it, you vocal cripple. Thus, like the sisters, you were born to test us. And the essence of that test is clear. You came so that we could separate the wheat from the chaff. Be prepared. Finally, you won't be able to bluff your way out of this, you mute. You acted in collusion with the runaways. You're giving color to a murderer, a damned preacher of death. What other proof do you need, brothers? He came here to realize their plot. How long would you test him? Time is running out. You shall not enter here.
You have been warned. Get thee behind me, young one. Listen to the revelation, young one, and don't be tempted. Follow the true path, and you'll be glorified alongside all the righteous ones, and the secrets of being will reveal themselves to you. So, you dare to challenge us willingly? You're not reckless, young one. You knew what you were doing. Do you really think you're stronger than me? Did you team up with Crimson in the hope that you'd defeat me with 3 blows? Did you earn Silver's favor and think that you'd be so lucky? No, young one. Fortune always turns its back. You disgust me. What blindness afflicted Patriarch and Montgolfier that they thought so highly of you. I see your game, and I think I know who you really are. I thus invite you to my chamber, where I will rend you limb from limb. Well, aren't we diligent? And where did you get all these hearts from? From whom did you gain all this knowledge? You couldn't have achieved this without the sisters' help. How far have you gone, young one? I'll have to keep an eye on you from now on. And if I find any criminal intent in your actions, beware. You will be punished. We will be watching you. This was a test of your intuition. A very tricky test. And of course you failed. In fact, you couldn't pass. The truth was clear from the beginning. What was Montgolfier thinking? Look at yourself, imposter. Do you think it's this easy to trick us? The strange pulsations in your body, haven't you noticed? You're converting color. You're turning the last drops of our heaven's blood into poison, into an acid that will burn us all. You should be executed for this at once. But I have a better way. Not everything is lost. But this is your final trial. Go to the ancient reservation in Uta's chamber, where dwells a huge pangolin, a parasitic dragon-like creature that dissolves color. Go and kill it. I give you 5 cycles, young one, to help us all. Young one, do you think you can create by throwing Nerva into the world? It's an illusion. True creation is beyond us, young one. You're like a foolish child who wasted his father's precious paints on pathetic doodles. Young one, what are those strange metastases in your body? And what is this? Nerva? Who did you intend to amuse with this, you scarecrow? One who has an enlargement doesn't shout about it. If you get my meaning. Do you really think we hadn't noticed? The fact that you haven't been spanked only means that we were too busy. But your turn will come soon, and sooner if you dare to spoil my realm. You probably ask yourself, what's the point of Lympha if I can't use it? Fool. You measure everything by your own needs, by how much it will benefit you. That's not how a righteous man thinks. Those are the thoughts of a heretic who doesn't understand that he's too inconsequential for his dreams to have any meaning at all. Young one, you should know that this exceptionally suspicious sister was entrusted to me for a very special reason. When she was born, we were in such fear, as if a 2-headed freak was suddenly among us. There had been no sisters like her before, yet you, I can see, find her quite attractive. The reason I got her is precisely to hide her anomaly. You shouldn't have seen her place.
You have ruined my realm. You have so much color in your palette, you are spoiling my realm. No matter how you plan to use it, I see it as a weapon. And when someone draws a sword, so do I. I'm sure the other brothers will be on my side. You shall not enter. You've traded a treasure for a penny. I thought better of you, but you should prepare. We are opening the abyss for you. We think of you as an honest brother, despite your constant violations of taboos. We see everything, but we do not act at once. Instead, we observe and analyze. Patriarch and Montgolfier have spoken in your defense, but I think otherwise. You might be honest, but not to the sleeper. You're too rash, foolish, and inexperienced. Though I'm sure the sisters think well of you. Their heresy, this deranged concept of breakthrough and their nonsensical whining about hunger, That you can understand, but you can't comprehend the absolute truth that we know. It is because you only think of yourself, and we cannot wait until you're enlightened. Whoever you are, you acted recklessly and vainly. You wasted precious color. You ruined the Nameless Sister's chambers. But worst of all, you almost woke the murderer that lives inside her. You must fix this criminal mistake. Rip her heart out and make her as she was before. You have one cycle to do this. Just one, do you hear? Then lie still in the void and humbly wait for us to decide your fate. Because right now, we don't like you one bit. Bravo, young one, bravo. You know how to find your way to a sister's heart. But if you're proud of your victory, it's only because you don't know Arthur. I do. You should prepare for your last battle. I don't like what I see. You've opened too many hearts, and I see only a threat in that. Keep in mind that we can take care of this problem. I can overlook your impudence until your first misstep. But after that, I will rip out half your hearts on the first execution. I won't give you any advice. Your first trial is a trial of intuition. If you really are a brother and not just some lingering spirit, you'll know what we want from you and what you should do in the mines. It's not up to you and your miserable ideals to measure the value and importance of this or that, especially the significance of Lympha, the greatest substance in the entire universe. The concept of usefulness cannot be applied to Lympha. Color is the essence of a creative spirit, and you have no right to create. Listen to the revelation, young one, and don't be tempted. Follow the true path, and you'll be glorified alongside all the righteous ones, and the secrets of being will reveal themselves to you. Montgolfier, do you hear me? I am executing him not because he disobeyed, and not because he corrupted a sister. I am executing him because he will do something stupid again.